wonderful to see you. Happy class day. We're going to be working with our mala today and blending our perfume for the month. Isn't that exciting? How are you? I'm so happy to see you. So welcome in. I've got, this deck is the one that my spirit guides were like, yeah baby, this is the one we need to use today. Wild Offering Oracle. This is by Tasha Silver. I love, I've got a few decks that I tend to kind of rotate because they're just so good. And this is one we haven't worked with in a while. Are you guys ready? I know, I missed you too. I'll be with you today, and then I'll be with you on Sunday. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It is so sticky and humid here, and my hair is dirty. So if I don't look that cute today, don't judge me. It's not a great hair day. I'm glad you're excited about class. Yay! So I'm gonna, there's just been a lot of energy in the field the last couple of days, and I've been extra smudging, so I'm gonna just burn a little sage for us too. Sometimes I do this at the beginning, sometimes I don't, but there's just a lot in the field. Not just my field, your field too. So we're just gonna set the intention that all energies not in service of the collective highest good are removed and released. Sent to the center of the earth where they can be transformed and transmuted into usable white light. And we send love and blessings to everyone, everywhere, in all directions. Thanks, you guys. The nice thing is, I'm one of those people who I pride myself on being the kind of person, if you're my friend and you come over and you're in your pajamas with a hair and a big bun and you haven't showered in a week, I'm not going to judge you. So that's kind of how I live my life too. So thank you for also being that way. It's a lot of really bizarre energy. I've had so many weird experiences in the last couple of days. So anyway, we hold steady, we hold strong, we hold true to the focus and the intention, and we do the best we can. But I'm sending all of that to you. Okay, so this is the deck one more time, and then Alexis will remind us in the feed if you forget. Wild Offering Oracle by Tasha Silver. So let's set the intention. My intention is to be a good, clear, and open channel for the wisdom and information that wants to come through. I'm going to ask your spirit guides to grant me some easy access to your field today. And we're going to give thanks for wisdom that's already on its way. And I want to say, I'm really excited to read for you today. If enthusiasm counts, well, thank you. Social media is such a beautiful thing, and then it's also just such a fucked up shit show sometimes. But that's why it's important to have a life off of social media too, and to get out in nature, and to, for me, animals are very healing. I cooked a huge meal today for the kids and fed them a home-cooked lunch because they're starting school. Those are the things I do to get back to my center. Okay, I'm diving in. Hold on. Suzanne Black is where Spirit wants me to go first. Hi, Suzanne. How are you today? It's good to see you. So Suzanne, let's see what's coming up for you. What does Suzanne need to know that she doesn't know right now? What clarity can we bring to her spirit? I also love that in this deck, I'm a sucker for really good art, that Ganesha is on the back of every card. So he's just removing all the obstacles for us. Here's your card, Suzanne. Mistakes. This is such a good one. Allow me to know it's okay to make mistakes. Let me always take care of the inner child so he or she feels loved, no matter what. That resonates with me too, doesn't it? One of my mentors who died 10 years ago now, is someone I think Denise Campbell probably knows, Warren Bennis, but I was very close to him. And he used to tell me, make as many mistakes as you can, as fast as you can. Because that's how we learn, and that's how we grow. And I felt, it's weird, that felt like a permission slip. You know what I mean? Be as human as you can, make as many mistakes as you can, as fast as you can. Because most of the wisdom is, ooh, don't make a mistake, right? We gotta be perfect all the time. So Suzanne, What the spirit guides are talking about for you in my ear, Suzanne, is you're being really hard on yourself. Is this true? Let me listen for a second. Yeah, you need to ease up. There's some part of you, they're saying this is connected to your childhood. Like, you have these really high expectations of yourself, which is great, and I love that for you, Suzanne, and great. But sometimes when we have those, like, kind of crazy expectations, they're not realistic. And then when we fall short of that, it's like we're disappointed. But the reality is we often have expectations that no one can live up to, right? And it happens no matter who you are or what you do. My friends who are stay-at-home moms have these expectations that they're going to be like the best parent on the planet. And when their teenager is shitty to them, then they're like, oh, I totally failed. Or my friends who, you know, have their own businesses, like they think they're going to be perfect all the time and they're going to fall short. The reality is all of us are going to make mistakes and fall short. And so do we look at that as a moment of humanity or do we look at that as a failure? Because the only energies that can do things perfectly are spirit energies. Everything that's human is inherently flawed, which if you're a perfectionist can be real tricky. So can you be gentler? Can you take this, Suzanne, maybe as a permission slip just to go a little bit easier on yourself so that you're not holding the burden of that? Because no matter what you do and who you are, if you always think, if you're here and the bar is here, there's always going to be like a, you know, a disappointment. Christina, I would love to talk about that for a second. Can I take 1 minute and answer her question? She said, can you explain expectation and manifestation? The universe does not like expectations. This is what I have learned, and nobody's taught me this, by the way. This has been my own experience. Ayahuasca kind of mentioned this, I'll put it that way, in almost every journey I've done. The universe doesn't like expectation, meaning this is going to happen. Even when you say, I'll be there, you know, a friend says, can you come over tomorrow? Sure, I'll be there. You should always say, I intend to be there. Or, you know, in other languages, they'll say, God willing, right? Or primero Dios in Spanish, right? But first God. There's, in a lot of other cultures and languages and traditions, there's this like, there's like humility. In English, we don't have that as much. And so it's like, I'll do that, I'll have that, I'll be there. The universe responds really well to, I desire, I intend, I attract, right? But not I will. It's like, there's a difference between your human, because it's almost like a hubris thing or a pride thing. So I've trained myself now, even in casual conversation, I don't say, oh sure, I will, right? And if you say, but first God, which in Spanish, primero Dios, it sounds better, right? But if you're not used to saying that or you're outside of those cultures, it's like, it's a little bit, we don't have a language for that. I'll be there, oh my voice is so bad. God willing, right? And the creek don't rise, Judith Walters, and that creek don't rise. So, yeah, thank you for asking that, because it's really important, right? I intend to be there. Hopefully I'll be there, right? God willing, primero Dios. Okay. Let's see. All right, Nikki Gagliardi said, I would love my first reading. Oh, how cool is that? I love your little moon and star and sun emojis. That's really sweet. Hi, Nikki. Let's see what the cards have to say for you. Nikki. Aging. I am one with unlimited love, beyond all seeming restrictions of age. I am filled with joy, energy, and beauty, a vessel for the divine Shakti. This is interesting, Nikki. The guides are talking about time. Is time on your mind? How you use it, how you spend it? We talk about time like it's money in English. Have you ever noticed that? Yeah. In other languages, they don't. But we talk about time like it's a resource, which is very interesting to me. The spirit guides are saying to be more in the present moment. There's a little bit of energy they're saying of like either being in the past or being in the future. The pendulum is like, yes, yes, yes. Being in this moment is very important for you. Hold on. The peace that you seek is in this moment. It isn't behind you and it isn't 2 cars ahead of you. And they say that's a really important lesson for you to integrate right now because it's actually going to help you and support you in the next cycle that you're going through. I like that a lot. Well, hello, Jaden Ryan. It's great to see you. Yeah, I like that message a lot. Okay. They're good cards. I know, I'm always a temptress. All right, Sherry D is turning 50 tomorrow. Girl, you make 50 look good. Because you're a Leo. Just kidding. She said, may I have a reading on what's ahead this year? Let's take a look. Happy birthday to you. You do make 50 look good. I'm into it. For Sherry, let's see what's coming up for her birthday year, for her new turn around the sun. Energy, what are you talking about, Spirit Guides? A lot of energy will be expended this year. If you're, triple Leo, you're gonna look at this card and go, ha. You got this in spades. Confidence. Divine confidence is completely different from the bravado of the ego. You make space for something larger to take hold. Please fill me with your confidence. Grant me courage I never knew I had. Actually, it's interesting. The spirit guides are saying that you actually do need to strengthen your confidence. They're saying that it's not that your confidence isn't as strong right now, but it has been stronger, they're saying. Yeah? Time to work with the Queen archetype, Archetypes are very helpful for me. I'm a student of Jungian psychology, and Carl Jung was invested in archetypes, really believed that archetypes were the way to understand ourselves, So, and for me, the archetype of the Queen is an archetype of confidence, power, strength, sovereignty, right? So you might ask yourself this next year, what would it look like to embody Sherry the Queen? The Queen carries herself a little differently. She honors different boundaries in relationships and has different expectations of others. Just play with it. I mean, the way I look at archetypes, just to kind of break it down, because I'm a visual learner, and to be honest, I'm kind of simple in the way I think about things. I think I'm smart, but I like to take complex subjects and kind of, break them down, make them real simple. The way I think about an archetype is, I think about it like a costume I'm going to try on. Today I'm going to try on the Queen archetype. So how does that feel? So then you kind of try on the Queen costume and you look around your life and you think, so how would I look at my relationship as the Queen? How would I look at my work as the Queen? How would I look at my whatever through that lens? I feel like that would be worthwhile for you in this year ahead. 50 is a big paradigm, right? It's a big threshold that you're crossing. And honestly, I don't think 50 has ever been younger. But that's probably also because I'm almost there. So now I'm like 50, you might as well be 12. But I know it's not that young, but there's part of me, because I'm knocking on its door, where I'm like, you're like a damn teenager. Thea's smiling at your screen. I love that, Sylvie. Okay. Be the Queen. It's your year, right? It's a 5-year. Earth, air, fire, water, spirit, all in balance. Make the most of it. Okay. Jenny Reader, I would love a reading about the surgery I have scheduled. I'm starting to doubt myself because of COVID, and I'd love some advice. Yeah, my mom's having a procedure next week, and it's not a great time to be going into the hospital, but, when you have to have a procedure, you also just have to do the thing. So let's take a look, Jenny, and see what's coming up from there for you, from the cards. What does Jenny need to know right now about her surgery? Do you do visualization, Jenny? The guys are talking about, this is a really good one too. What I'm realizing now is I've been doing this for 10 years, so I'll say something and then it'll be a year or two before I talk about it again. And every time I come back around to things, it's usually because the timing is right. Do you guys do the bubble meditation? Like, when you park somewhere and it doesn't look real safe and you leave your car, you put a bubble around your car. When you go into a hospital during a pandemic, you put a bubble around your field, right, to protect, and you articulate what you're protecting, right? So you say, this car is protected, right? I am protected. Do you guys do that? Like the egg of light? If you already know what it is and how to do it, I don't need to spend time talking about it, but it feels important for you. It's very important to bubble up. I mean, I don't do it every day, but definitely when I'm out in public. I was somewhere the other night and I just couldn't, I was inside and people weren't keeping their masks on, and so I was just like, I'm just gonna bubble up. Like, what else can you do, right? So yeah, it's very, very important. You basically just envision an egg of light around you that covers your entire auric field. So I like to put it about 2 feet out from me, above and below, and then just you declare what the boundary is. So I'm protecting myself, I'm protecting whatever it is, my car, or whatever it is. Before you go in to the hospital, egg of light, right? And you just visualize it. And you say, I mean, I will say to Spirit, I have put an egg of light around my car. It is impermeable to human vision. So I make my car like invisible, or I make myself invisible, right? Yeah. And instantly, as soon as at least for me, as soon as I do it, like my blood pressure drops, you know what I mean? Like, do that. I'm doing it for my mom. If you've tried forever to shift a problem, there's probably something to learn from embracing it. May I let this be for now? Help me relax and trust every need will be met. Often change soon follows. Ooh, I like it. Tanya B says, I started using a rainbow torus to send and receive love versus bubbling up. I like that too. I mean, the torus in itself, right, Tanya, is kind of a self-contained system. So I think that would actually be very effective. My intuitive hit for you is, you're fine. That's my intuitive hit. And maybe this moment of wondering what to do, Jenny, how to do it, you know what I mean? Maybe there's some learning here. Because these moments become opportunities to practice, right? So it probably is about this moment and what's going on. It also probably could not be about this moment. It could be actually a bigger issue of how you learn to work your practice right now. This is nothing if it's not an opportunity to practice for all of us, right? Oh, interesting. Yeah, I haven't been in our Soulship Facebook group today. Janine says, yes, I posted about today on Soulship Facebook. And she's putting a torus around the world and charged it with music. Well, that's flippin' brilliant, Janine Gibbons. And thank you for doing that. I really, really like that a lot. All right, Spirit, where are we going? Like up, 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 up. Nope, 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 nope. Hold on. Kimberly is in major pain for several days from her fibro. Hi, darling. So let's see what's going on, what the cards have to say about your pain and what it's trying to tell you. Kimberly, Kimberly, Kimberly. Okay, first of all, it's the same card. When they tell me weird stuff, it's not because I second guess you guys, but sometimes it's just weird. That's when I grab the pendulum. I'm like, really? Okay, well, the pendulum is saying it's true. The guides are saying that you need to go into a sauna, like a sauna, S-A-U-N-A. if you don't have one or know someone who has one, go to a gym. The guides are saying this will help your fibro, and I'm supposed to tell you that. It actually oddly makes sense to me because I have friends with fibro, and when they travel and they're in a lot of humidity and heat, their pain tends to dissipate. So it's the patient card, a patient's card. If you've tried forever to shift a problem, there's probably something to learn from it. May I let this be for now? Help me relax and trust every need will be met. Change often follows. You need to try something new, is what the guys are saying. I'm claustrophobic, so saunas are not my absolute favorite thing. So it's not something I have tried, just to be honest with you. It's like not really my thing. But I have friends who love them, and sometimes we'll go to the gym just to use it. I have a friend who has actually put one in her house because she swears by it, but it's not my thing. You're the queen of hot baths? Okay, good. Well, maybe this is useful for you then. It felt weird. I'm like, she needs to go to a sauna? Okay. Hot tubs. I can't get in a sauna. I just want to get the hell out. I think if I was actually going to have to like sit in a sauna, you'd have to like sedate me. It's not my thing. One time I remember when Dave and I were house hunting, somebody was like, ooh, this house has a sauna. And I was like, ooh, I definitely don't want it then. It's like, no, that's like a selling bonus. I'm like, not to me, it's not. I don't want any part of that. Okay, let me go back up. Yeah, sweat lodges, all of that. Sweat lodges also make me kind of, okay. Melissa Hewitt suggests acupressure for you. Kimberly, did you see that? And I have a friend who has had major breakthrough in pain with acupuncture in the last couple of weeks. Might be something to consider. All right, Christine Mahe says, I have a huge change coming this weekend, and I would love guidance. Is it for our highest good? Let's take a look. I love change. It's so exciting. Some people hate it. Dave hates change, and I'm always like, change? We get to change something? What are we changing? So Christine, what is this change about, and is it in alignment with her highest good? Feels like it. It's the aging card again. Let me ask the pendulum. So is this change coming this weekend in alignment with Christine's and her collective's highest good? Pendulum says yes. I am one with love beyond all restrictions. I'm filled with joy, energy, beauty, a vessel for the divine Shakti. Honestly, between the card and what I'm hearing intuitively, I would say 1000%, Christine. Are you excited? I feel, I'll be candid with you. In your energy field, I feel like a hesitation. And I don't know where that's coming from exactly, but there's a little bit of like a little hiccup in your energy field. Sometimes that can come from fear because change is scary, right? We're stepping into the unknown. And so even subconsciously, right, we can feel a little bit of like a, that's what I feel. It's like when I'm in your field, I just feel a little bit of like a resistance. And so take a look at that and, probe it. Is it based on something? Yeah, I can feel your mixed feelings. So when you listen to that affirmation, right, I am one with divine love in all its forms, and I'm a vehicle for the divine Shakti. When you receive that affirmation, and then you think about the situation, the change, does it make you feel more secure about it or less secure about it? And I would register that. Doesn't mean you have to change courses or anything like that, but just be aware. When you lean into that energy of Shakti and creation, is it a leaning toward yes? Or is it like, yeah, so the past is coming up. So if you set the past aside and you lean into that affirmation, so if you're just in this moment and you're not thinking about past, present, future, nothing except just right here, right now, and you do that mantra, right? I'm one with love in all its forms, and I'm a vessel for the divine Shakti. Does that make you lean yes or lean no from this moment? Let your body and your mind, anchored in this moment, be the pendulum and see what comes. Okay. This is interesting today. Yeah, I have to tell you, it feels good to me, Christine, but I also have had so many times in my life where my expectation that the past will repeat itself has tainted my ability to enjoy what's coming. And that's just being human, you know? All right, Tanya Mannon. She's like, Athena, I made it to a reading finally. I would love one. Let's go. Let's see what's shaking with you today, Tanya. Tanya. Well, I think you were meant to be here because your card jumped out of the flippin' deck. Direction. Lord, please show me the right action right now. Please bring a sign and a miracle that gives clear direction. May I hear the promptings of my own body. And if for some reason I'm about to head the wrong way, please stop me. Woo! Well, they're talking about trust and surrender. How hard that is sometimes. You're not heading in the wrong direction, Spirit's saying. You're on the right path. Yeah. Have you been waiting for a sign? This could be the sign. They're talking about timing. That whatever timing you've been wondering about, it's there. So if there's something you've been wanting to do or waiting to do or like postponing because you're not sure if the timing's right or something like that, I would really encourage you to move forward based on what I'm hearing from the guides. This may be the best timing you have in the next couple of months. Yeah. Oh, Thera, is it Julie? Julie says, not all saunas are the same. Far infrared is what you need. Thera sauna is the best. Yeah, I don't know. It's not my thing, but I really appreciate that because I don't know who to ask, Julie, so the fact that you know what you're talking about is pretty awesome. So thank you. You guys become such a repository of wisdom because you just know a lot about a lot, and there's a lot of things like saunas that I just have no clue about. Okay. Let's see where we're going. Dorothy Merrill. Dorothy. Why won't it stop? There we go. What do the guides need me to know? Let's take a look. For Dorothy. What are your spirit guides trying to tell you that you don't know right now? Gratitude. Find just one thing that you feel grateful for right now and let that gratitude pour through your body. It's like a healing balm, like the warmth of the sun. They're talking about the opposite of gratitude, which can sometimes be sorrow and grief. That's always a possibility. Your heart's been heavy is what the guides are saying. And to shift that, gratitude always works. It's just hard to be grateful sometimes when you're really in the middle of some dense emotions. I mean, I'm a very grateful person, but when I'm really sad or discouraged or worried, it's like gratitude can seem like it's an absolute mile away. Do you know what I mean? So creating a conscious practice of gratitude is what they're talking about. And if it seems hard, like write it down. Like what are the 2 or 3 people or things or energies that you know, when you ask yourself that question, that you truly are grateful for right now. It's gonna, here's what they're saying, it's interesting. It's not even really about gratitude. When you shift to that mindset, your energy field is going to shift and your perspective is going to change, and that's going to help you make progress. It's an odd solution to challenges that we face, because people will say, well, how is being grateful going to change any of this? And it's like, but it does. But it's not the gratitude that changes it. It's the fact that gratitude spins you on a different axis. It is the medicine, you know? Woo. I will continue to see you healed. Absolutely, my darling River. I hold space, always. Always. Love that so much. I know. Okay. Back up we go. Stacey Adams. I'd love a birthday reading. My birthday is on Tuesday. Jay's birthday is Wednesday. It's Virgo season. Yeah, baby. We need it, honestly. Like the Leo drama, we're good. We need the Virgo, like, even-keeled, steady, accurate, grounded, patient. So happy birthday to you, Stacey. Let's see what's coming up for the cards for Stacey for the year ahead. Divine courage is not the absence of fear, but it's a nudge that says, keep going, do it. Don't worry, all will be well. You have to get quiet enough to hear it. Dear Divine, may I feel your courage and your will. Does that feel accurate for you today? Have you been trying to feel into that courage and that will? You've been busy, the spirit guides are saying. You need to slow down and create more time and space for yourself and your practice. And make that a birthday gift to yourself. It was out of focus. Time and space needs to be a birthday gift you give to you. It's important for you. Yeah. Because again, you know, like these, in and of themselves, time and space or meditation or gratitude, these things in and of themselves don't you know, solve the puzzle, but they pivot your energy. And that feels very important for you. More time for you in this year ahead. We're always going to be busy, you know what I mean? Like, but busy is not, we have to redefine and reframe busy. Because a lot of times in the West, you get rewarded for being busy. Like, it makes it seem like you're real productive, or like, oh, she's busy or whatever. But it's like, it can also become a way of kind of deferring what we want to do or what we need to do. Woo! Yeah, baby. Okay. Let me see where I am going now. Carla, have a good day. Hopefully I'll see you in class a little bit later. Let's see. Me too. Would love a card. I would love to pull a card for you, me too. Let's see what the spirit guides have to say for you, cutie pie. Me too, me too, me too. My cousin's name is Nilu, so sometimes I have to stop and be careful not to call you Nilu. Her whole name is Nilufar, but she goes by Nilu. So, me too. Let's see what the cards have to say. Go big or go home, baby. There's a lot of these kind of recurring themes today, but I like courage. Again, divine courage is not the absence of fear. It's a nudge that says keep going and do it anyway. And don't worry, all will be well. You have to get quiet enough to hear it. Dear Divine, may I feel your courage and your will. So, the spirit guides are saying there's something you need to do this year. And I think it requires a little courage, a little strength to do it. It feels like it's in relationship, and it feels like it's a conversation or something, like a need that needs to be expressed. to articulate what you need or what you desire. In part, it feels like either significant other or family. It's a close relationship. And it's time, Spirit's saying. And you'll be supported in expressing whatever this need is. Do you know what it is? Whatever it is feels like it's going to work out in your favor. I like that. Courage is everything right now. It takes courage just to be human right now, doesn't it? I think every single person who's alive right now is receiving these really divine lessons in faith, even if they're not spiritual, you know? Yeah. Okay, Christine Rogers, I would love my first reading. Let's see. I got my Reiki certificate this past weekend, and my surgeon's doctor appointment is next week to discuss my lower back surgery. I'm scared. Hi, sweetheart. Back surgery is no fucking joke, Christine. But you can be okay. I know it's scary. And you know, remember the back is the spine, and the back is your sushumna, right? So, you know, my mom has had multiple back surgeries, and I've kind of witnessed her go through all of that. And it really is the container of your chakras. So the reason it's so important, and you have so many nerves around your spine and your back, and that's why it really freaks people out. But back surgery can also be miraculous. And I think it's going into it, it's like every time you encounter fear, try to respond to that fear with, but it could be fantastic. It could be exactly what I need it to be. It could, you know, because usually back surgery also has the potential to be transformational in your health and your comfort. You know me, I'm always an optimist. So let's see, Christine, what do you need to know right now? Your spirit guides about this process you're facing. I have a good feeling. Truth. When everything is done as an offering, even the act of speaking, you get shown when to talk and when to be silent. Your words come from silence, not fear. You do the talking, dear Lord. Take me over and speak through me. Isn't that powerful? So, what if this surgery is an offering? Right? It's an offering of faith in service of your health. And I think if you look at it like that, it becomes your perspective on it might shift, right? My practice before surgery is always it's almost like the blue room. So, and I do this when I have family members or friends who ask me to pray for them, and they're going to have a procedure. I always imagine that the surgeon, the surgical staff, the nurses are just surrounded in golden light. And I ask the spirit guides to bless their hands, to bless their mind, to bless their heart, to give them absolute clarity and discernment, exactly what to do and how to do it for the highest possible good and the best outcome. But literally, I just call upon all of their angels to surround them, to be present in that operating room, to guide every single movement of their hands and their mind and their heart in that whole process, for the best possible outcome. Yeah. It's a good one. And, you know, I mean, I've never done that process and had somebody had a bad outcome. I've had people go through surgeries where I didn't do that and the outcome was not good. And then I look back and I'm like, I should have done it. Bless the nurses, bless the surgical staff, bless the people in admissions, bless anyone and everyone who will be part of your recovery or your prep or the process itself. Just bless them, bless them, bless them. Yeah. Okay. It also gives you a sense that you're not just, you know, in the passenger seat, right? There are things you can do to prep energetically for that process too. Okay, Kaz is here. I would love some guidance, please. What do my guides need me to know for the next step forward to creating my own business from home healing? Will it be successful? Of course it'll be successful. I mean, I'm laughing, but it's like, right, anything you do from your heart, if it's sincere, has the potential to be successful. When people are not successful, it's because either they don't believe they're going to be successful or it's not authentic. They're copying what somebody else did, or they're doing what somebody told them to do, right? That does not lead to success. But when it's coming from your heart and your mind and your spirit and you're into it and it's authentic, how can it not be successful? I know. Sometimes like I said, sometimes I'm too optimistic and kind of a Pollyanna, but I believe that to be true. So for Kaz, what does she need to know for her venture? Planet's never needed healing more than it needs it right now. And I think the more people we have doing healing, the better, you know? That's an interesting card in response to your question, though. Creative blocks. If you're an artist of any kind, you can offer all work to the divine, making it God's alone. By the way, if you don't like the word God, this deck is kind of, it's Christian oriented. If it bothers you, just pretend I'm saying source or, you know, divine or whatever it is. You don't have to, like, you know, just regulate. I know some people don't like to associate their energy with that because it's not their path, so I just don't want you to feel like it's not relevant. I offer this for the highest good to benefit the planet. Say it out loud. I offer this for the highest good to benefit the planet. Release me from any blocks and restrictions. May what I offer serve all who need it. And I swear to you, if that is your heart's intention, I don't see how you can fail. Really, Alexis? That's awesome. I love that so much. I believe it's true. I think if it's coming from your heart and your spirit, it can't be anything other than a success, right? And if you have a very specific definition of success, then you need to articulate that at the new moon as part of your intention setting process, right? Tina Briggs, she said, hi Athena, would you mind pulling a card for me? Am I meant to stay in a traditional relationship or to become open? I know personal, but would love your guidance. Listen, girl, I'm very open-minded. I've been in all different kinds of relationships, so and I think open relationships can be really fun as long as everybody's on the same page. It gets weird when somebody's not on the same page, but as long as everybody's on the same page, it can be real good. Let me see what the cards have to say for Tina. What does she need to know about the nature of her relationship? This is a unique answer to your question. Solitude. Once you embrace the inner divine in your own sacred solitude, the right people will arrive at the right time, exactly on schedule, without forcing or changing it. Only spirit would respond to a question about the foundation of relationship by suggesting that you spend time alone. It's such a spirit thing, isn't it? Should I keep up my relationship in a traditional structure? No, you should be alone. I don't take it to mean that you should be alone. What I take this card to mean, and because I'm, they're talking to, you need to get clear on what you want first. And then from there, you can determine what the best structure of your relationship should look like. The spirit guides are like, it's as simple as that. So what does Tina want? My philosophy is as much love as I can get from all sources, amen, and so it flippin' is. you're driving the bus, so you have to. I mean, the solitude thing, I think, Tina, is about you going within and asking yourself, what do I really want here? What do I really need? Absent other people's perspectives or opinions or anybody, anything. Like, it's got to work for Tina. Don't work for Tina, not gonna work for anybody. Happy wife, happy life. It's true. Although I also think happy hubby, happy life, because, you know, or happy partner, happy life. Antoinette Mora. Should I go back to work? Mom needs me more than ever, and I would like to know direction of what I should do for the betterment of myself and my family. Let's take a look. See what the cards have to say for Antoinette. God, the spirit guides are like, well, what does Antoinette want to do? What do you want to do? Do you know what you want to do? I'm going to pull a card. Antoinette, Antoinette, Antoinette. Yeah, the spirit guides are like, your heart's not settled yet because you feel torn. You kind of have an opinion, though, they're saying. Are you afraid of being selfish? Because the guides are like, she knows what to do. So then it's just about confidently acting on your instincts. Divine confidence is completely different from the bravado of the ego. Remember this card from a few minutes ago? You make space for something larger to take hold. Please fill me with your confidence. Grant me the courage I never knew I had. What will make you happy? What will, because ultimately if your family is well taken care of, that's going to make you happy, right? The guides are like, that's part of her happiness is the health and well-being of her family. So given that, what's your heart tell you? Because it's probably right. Yeah. I know. But you're not going to make a mistake. As long as you are following your heart and your intuition and you are saying and asking yourself, what is going to be best for my family, because that's connected to your personal happiness, I don't think you can make a wrong decision. Yeah. Okay, Bonnie Linuski. I really need some guidance. Please, can I have a reading? Hi, Bonnie. Let's see what Spirit wants to talk to you about today. Bonnie. I like this card. Not enough of that going around these days. Enjoyment. Striving and pushing makes life into endless hard work. Isn't that the truth? The more you're inviting love to take over, the more enjoyment comes. Allow me to enjoy this life. What do you do for fun? By the way, when people ask me that, I'm always like, do you really want to know? Because other people's idea of fun usually is not the same as mine. Like for me, fun sometimes is just sitting outside staring at the sky without anybody like bugging me or, you know, asking me what time dinner's going to be ready or, you know, like that can be really fun. Or fun for me is like organizing my crystals. That's super fun. It seems super boring to other people. You need to bring more joy and enjoyment of this life into your life and not feel guilty about doing that. Like making it a priority. Like what you do today that was just for enjoyment. And without expecting that it's gonna produce anything or, you know what I mean? Like no goals there. Just like the goal is to enjoy. On your terms, whatever that looks like for you. I love it, right? Like Katrina was like, fun was pruning her lily plant patch. Like that's super fun. I love looking at a magazine. I know it's silly. When I was young, my parents, we didn't have very much money, and I really wanted to subscribe to magazines. And my parents were always like, no, that I couldn't do that. So as soon as I got a job in my 20s, like, you know, where I could actually afford to really support myself and have a little extra money, I started subscribing to magazines. And I still subscribe to a few. Like Victoria magazine is like one of my guilty pleasures. I just think it's so beautiful. And the fall issue just came and I have it on my kitchen counter because I want to go outside and just look at my Victoria magazine. You know, like that to me is super fun. Baths are fun, you know. All right, let's see, where am I going now? Yeah, I mean, well, you know, you and I are very similar, so we probably think about fun in the same way. But like, you know, other people, for fun for them is like, I go jet skiing or whatever. I'm like, I don't want to do that. It sounds horrible and dangerous. Okay, Angel, I need to get away from my life relationship here in the West. Where do the guides see me? Out east, where I have undesirable but safe landing, or somewhere else? Interesting. Let's see what's coming up for you, Angel, Angel, Angel. Why are they saying somewhere warmer? The guides are saying you need to be somewhere that you do need to move and that you need to be somewhere warmer. And they are saying more comfortable. Feels like physical comfort. I don't know if that makes sense to you. You need to talk more about this and get more perspectives on it. Because here's what I feel like. I feel like they have a place in mind, but it's like not even on your radar. Does that make sense? Yeah. If I had to move in the US, and I mean, just me personally, outside of California, I would move to Tucson, Arizona. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's affordable, and it's a vortex, and the people are cool, and it's hot, but you know, you navigate that. Let's see. I'm glad, Bonnie, I'm so glad. Moni Carrasco, would love a reading. I've been so upset and mad lately. Nothing is as I wanted it to be. I've been there. Let's take a look at the cards, Moni, and see what's coming up for you. Moni, Moni, Moni. I've been there. I love this card for you. Because you know what it says? It says the universe still has your back. I know sometimes it doesn't seem like it. It says it's not about finding love. You are love itself. It says, help me, Lord, to send so much compassion and caring to my inner child that I always remember I myself am love. Yeah, I really like that. I'm listening. Hold on. Here's what I'm getting for you. They are trying to move you in a particular direction, and I feel like there's resistance. I don't know if it's your resistance or theirs. So here's what they're telling me. It's interesting. They're actually giving me like a very specific thing they want you to do, and I've seen them recommend this before, but it's been quite a while. I don't know what this thing is that they show me, but I used to teach my students when I was a writing teacher. It's like a mind map. You know, I don't know if you ever did this in school, but like you put like the subject in a bubble, and then you put little lines around it, and there's other bubbles. So like whatever the main subject is, you write that in the middle, and then you like the other things you're going to write about come like in these little bubbles around it. What I'm getting from the spirit guides is they want you to mind map your next steps. Then they're talking about, on their side, they're talking the next 12 to 18 months. Like, so the main thing that you want, and then like the little offshoots from there. I want this main thing, or I'm manifesting this, so manifesting this will also mean A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H, right, all around it. They are reorienting you, is what they're saying. They're putting you on a new pathway and a new timeline. This is ultimately for your highest good, they're saying. Well, this is kind of nuts. Something that you wanted, if you'd gotten it, would not have worked out the way you imagined. You are being saved from something. Has that ever happened to you before? It's happened to me. It's happened to me, but I've only known it in hindsight. Like, oh, wow. I guess that means if I'd gotten that thing I wanted, or that person I wanted, or that job I wanted, that I would have ended up in these other situations that wouldn't have been as good. So they're trying to, it's like literally picking you up and putting you on a different path. And ultimately it's for your highest good. Try to shift your anger to gratitude. And I know that's hard as fuck to do that. Okay, because when you're mad and I get mad and everybody gets mad, it's so hard to be grateful at the same time. It's like, what do you mean? You want me to be grateful for this shit? It's like, yeah, because what if it's actually a gift? Has that ever happened to you? It's happened to me a bunch of times. There was this man, I really thought I just wanted to be with him forever, ever when I was young. I wouldn't be sitting here with you if that relationship had happened. So I am so grateful the universe was like, like completely like moving me out of that as fast as it could. Or that job I thought I really wanted, and it's like, right? Okay. Yeah, it's absolutely right, Ariana. Yeah, thank you, God, for unanswered prayers. Holy shit. And I feel so bad for the women who did end up with that gentleman. Okay, Michelle Brindle. New to Soul Shift. Well, hello, darling. Let's see what's going on for you today. Nice to have you here. Very grateful for you. Michelle. Let's see what's coming up for you in the cards today. This is a 52 card deck. I just want to remind you of that because the same cards have been coming up over and over again. It happens every time, and I'm always like, confidence, Michelle. Again, divine confidence is completely different from the bravado of the ego. You make space for something larger to take hold. Please fill me with your confidence and grant me courage I never knew I had. Guides are talking about taking action. You know what that means? There's something you need to be doing. They say you know what it is. If you're thinking about postponing or not taking action until next year, I would really encourage you not to wait. And if you need direction, ask for guidance. That's what the guides are saying. But don't hesitate because you're not sure what to do. There is something before the end of this year that needs your attention and your action. Yeah. Trust that you have the right answer. I'm glad, Moni. It's good stuff, you know. Thank you for being here and being open and awake and showing up to the work of this life, you know what I mean? Yeah, today's theme is, ta-da! At the end of Leo season, right? We all get a lesson in confidence. Thank you, Judith Walters. I do need a time check, as we are at the hour mark. So I'm going to do our collective card now. How does that sound? Thank you. I love you guys. I get in the zone, and I've got 2 clocks, and then now I've learned one of my clocks is wrong. What are you going to do? All right, so this is the collective read. Are you ready? Everybody who's here now, everybody who will watch later, a card to guide us in Soul Shift and our work for week 3. A card for everything we need to know for the week ahead for Soul Shift, Soul Shift, Soul Shift. Got full moon coming up this weekend. Get to make some wishes together. it's the confidence card, I'm just gonna go like that and walk out of the room. Not really, but it would be weird, right? Independence, one of my favorite words, because I'm such a stubborn young lady. The more you learn to feed yourself on the inside and care for your inner child, the more freestanding you become. Isn't that true? Help me feed and love my inner child. Help me feed and love my inner child. So where do you feel, this is what the guides are saying, where do you feel a need for independence? It's a great question for where we are in alchemy right now too, right? Because alchemy requires independence. Because you have to be able to see the influence of people and situations and energies on your actions and thoughts and vibration, right? It's a real good one, isn't it? Bang! Where do you need to be more independent? Energetically, you know? It reminds me a little bit, I had posted on Facebook on, I don't even, God, no, who knows what day it is even. I think I posted on Monday. About how you need to learn to listen to the sound of your own voice. And I think that's partly what this is, because it feels like it's energetic independence. It's like really learning to privilege the sound of your own voice and to privilege your needs over the noise of everybody else and their influences around you too, right? It's time. Time to focus on you. That's independence, right? I mean, we're all interdependent, right? None of us is really truly independent, right? In some way, shape, or form, we all have a dependency because we're all connected energetically. So, you know, I'm not one who really believes in this idea of ultimate independence because I don't think there's a way, nor do I think it's actually a good thing for us to be like completely separate from, but I also think entanglement can lead us to lose track of our own voice and our own sovereignty. And that is a danger, I think, for spiritual people. That was a good one, wasn't it? Focus on you. And again, in our culture, we make that selfish, like, oh, you know, me time and self-care, and it's like it's a bad thing. But the reality is, if you don't take enough time to focus on you and you're constantly pouring out to other people and you don't have that inner sense of courage and independence, then you will lose your way. Because ultimately, and especially in these times, I was talking to my friend, I have an artist friend who's at my house today painting the peacock. We were talking this morning and she was like, you know, it's like we've never, in a way, needed our intuition more than we do now. Because in so many ways, that inner voice is more accurate than anything outside of you, right? So it's like, but you need courage and you need independence to be able, and you need silence to be able to really hear the sound of that voice and what it's trying to tell you. So it's good stuff today. All right, well, I'm going to thank my spirit guides and yours. Today's reading is brought to you by Tasha Silver, who did a beautiful job on the Wild Offering Oracle. And I want to give thanks for wisdom that came through and wisdom that will continue to come through as we go. Yeah, it's a good one, isn't it? Your intuition is always accurate. And I think each one of us is being guided in really beautiful ways at this time. Even when you think you're not, you know? Like it's still there. If you get quiet enough, you can hear it. All right, so I will be with you at 4 o'clock. Have your mala with you. If you got your class tools, it came with a mala. If you don't have your class tools, bring some other kind of mala. We're going to make perfume, right? The journey kit that you get each month. Some of it's optional, but we're going to blend perfume and then we're going to journey. And I have a beautiful journey plan for us today, so I'm really excited about it. I hope you are too. Thank you, Cleisha's Corner. I appreciate that. I'll see you guys in about 40 minutes from now. Go get some tea or some tequila.